Today on Drawbli, Abby is drawing.
Electric.
Yes. Boogie, woogie, woogie again?
Boogie, woogie, round 2.
Click that subscribe button if you are new around here.
And comment below with other ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
So, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, you started drawing this.
I did very quick sketches of these poses.
But you said, I'll figure out what prompt this can fit later.
Yes.
Which is fair. The prompts that we use only exist for us to, have some creative direction.
Yeah.
Like if we end up not using them at all, no big deal.
Right.
That is the least of our concerns.
Right.
That sketch looked great.
Thank you. 15 minutes, as you saw. But what I liked about having the prompt was it meant I could start with whatever I wanted, which in this case was just trying to draw this girl in these different poses, and then add an element of the prompt later on, just like to give it a creative spin. So that part was helpful because then I ended up making this like an electric girl warrior thing.
Ooh.
Or I tried to.
A thunderbender.
Yeah. And that was really fun to have that idea of an element to add in.
There's some really strong perspective in these images, actually.
Yeah, because she's got the camera kind of low down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it tough.
Yeah, but I wasn't worried about that. I just wanted to get a very quick, rough sketch. I think I was even viewing this as a warm-up for the day. So I record just in case a lot, but in a perfect world, this wouldn't have seen the light of day. Like, but it's here. And then my idea was I'd sketch all 4, and then I would pick my favorite one and take that one farther.
I see that you switched your brush here.
Yeah, that was another thing I did intentionally to just see how I felt about sketching with different pens and textures. I didn't keep close enough track, but I did like what I used here.
Yeah, it's a cool pose.
Well, I like the brush I used too. At this point, I switched from the studio pen to something else. I think one of the calligraphy brushes with more flow to it, maybe.
I see. I like it.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
And this is the one that you choose as your pose to continue forward with.
Yeah.
What was it about this one?
It was the last one, so I was warmed up. Oh, brush pen. Make a mental note. Brush pen. I like that one.
Yeah, I thought you used the brush pen a lot.
I do.
Okay. I was gonna say.
But this confirms that I like it. So yeah, I took this one farther. I put clothes on her, and I tried to.
I put clothes on her.
Well, I put clothes on her, and I tried to take this, to a far finished arena.
Yes.
But I was
had some struggles along the way.
A lot of struggles because I was using it to learn. I was experimenting. I was trying new things. I was thinking I would experiment again with creating my own lighting because that actually went pretty well for me one time when I tried it.
Yeah.
Or reasonably well. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
Abby's rock climbing girl. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. We'll put a link below, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was really fun to try that. But I think what is the word I was using when I was drawing this, or the words? I was saying my vision has outstripped my skill. My vision has outgrown. I don't know. I could imagine a lot more for this piece than I had the skill to put down.
That's so interesting that you say that, because that's actually something that I talked in depth about on my last Patreon update for a character that I'm working on. I share some behind the scenes stuff as I'm working on a character and my thought process. And your ability to see versus your ability to do is a very neck and neck kind of competitive skill set when you are creating art.
Yeah. Oh, here I'm trying to do a little bit of Loomis head, just a little hint of Loomis head.
There you go. Someone mentioned that in a comment recently. I forget who. But.
It prompted me to go ahead and review that technique. I'd learned it once before, but I needed to review it.
Yeah, looks like it worked to great effect there.
Oh, yeah. It's a great way to put down a head real quick and have it shape a little bit to your liking. But I still have a lot of room for improvement, absolutely. What do you think of the face I'm putting in here?
I actually really like it.
I think I erased everything a million times.
I know. I'm sad because you had some really cool stuff there. I really liked the eyes that you had at first, and then you kept redoing them. But I actually like the finished drawing that you have here. Abby was telling me with this piece before we started recording, I worked on this so long and I still don't really like it. And I was like, don't worry. I have one that I worked on forever, and it's way worse than yours. So
Aw.
don't feel bad at all.
Okay, I won't feel bad at all. But I do still wish I don't know. It wasn't the pose, and it wasn't the line art of her pose. I was just happy. I was happy enough with that.
You are creating a full figure here. It's very complicated.
It is.
A lot going on.
But it was like the coloring process and balancing it with the color and saturation of the background where I just really was having a hard time. And I didn't work on this just one day or one sitting. I would come back to it after breaks and try to see what was wrong with it. And yeah, there was a lot to learn. There was a lot that it taught me, not that I learned, but that I had a lot to learn, if that makes sense.
That does make sense, actually.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you understand.
I remember in one of our past recent videos, you had created a girl that was doing some, like, was it contact juggling, or she was doing
A rhythmic gymnast?
Oh,
yeah,
rhythm. That's right. Oh, we were talking about the, like, ball type stuff, too, as well. Oh, and we can talk about this shading method. We should.
Oh, yeah. It didn't
'cause
work
it's really
out for
cool.
me here, but it was really fun.
But is
try
this, like,
again.
something similar with the fan? Is that, like, a also type of gymnastic?
Oh, no, I think this pose with the fan was from a set of 4 pictures that we saw at the beginning of like warrior-esque poses. So
they were just doing some...
Yeah, just some poses.
Creating some references.
Although, I don't know, maybe there is some sort of rhythmic gymnast dancing out there that involves using a fan.
Or I'm sure there's some kind of, dance or something like that.
I
But
bet
yeah,
it's
very
very
cool.
pretty.
I like that. So, I've mentioned a few times recently about photo bashing, which
Oh yeah,
we
you're
haven't
supposed to
done.
teach me what that is.
We haven't done a ton of that. I actually have a piece coming up somewhat soon that I made that does involve a small piece of photo bashing where I take a deer and I insert it into an environment scene and I like paint over top of it and use that as like, something to just add some pixels in there. But that's kind of a little bit of what you've done here, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if you were photo bashing, you would just straight up take this photo of the lake and lightning, and you would just set that as the background, paint over top of it, and repurpose and use it
Oh, cool.
for your illustration.
Also, side note, that hand pose I just drew, I posed my own hand for that. That's my own hand pose.
Nice!
Thank you. I took a picture of my hand in that pose
Really?
and I drew it. Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I see that you're like flipping back and forth between shading, working on the background, adding some notes.
Yeah, the notes are from a different piece of art, which is why I have to keep going back into that art to grab them. I must have accidentally deleted them once after I pulled them in.
What are these notes?
They're from the Mark Brunet video. He has a short video on adding color pretty simply to characters. So it's a whole process, though. So I had to go get the notes that I wrote from the video onto a different piece of art and put them here so I could follow them.
Gotcha.
I
I'm
still
not a
struggled.
huge fan, I've mentioned in the past, of the process of painting something in black and white or, just from white to black value range and then adding color on top of that. I think that's not a super great process to work. I prefer more so creating flat colors and then adding shading and lighting on top of that. I feel that that's a lot better personally. But I think that there is a lot that can be gained in terms of practice and skill from painting in just a black and white value range.
Some people do their underpainting, I guess, for their light and contrasts in like a burnt umber, like a brownish color, orange. Maybe that would be better.
Also, you can do it in all sorts of different color. I don't think it, it kind of depends what you're making, skin or whatever. But yeah, this is a really cool idea, concept-wise. I think there's a lot of fun things going on here.
Thanks. I came back with a list of like scrawled crazy advice for myself of what can I do to actually improve this. So
you're critiquing. No, this is awesome. Like going back in, critiquing yourself. That's what we like to see.
Yeah. What helped a lot was adding the grayscale layer so I could see that my value shift, my contrast was not very good, and seeing that the background was really, really busy and I needed to soften that a lot. Again, I never really got this to a point that I felt like, oh yeah, I've totally hit it. Also, I tried the gradient thing on Procreate. That was really fun to play with.
Those are fun.
But yeah, I tried using the advice I gave myself and it turned out, it helped. It helped.
What helped?
my advice for myself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I will agree with you that the character and the background are somewhat competing with one another. That is definitely an element that is competing with itself. But I showed you a couple things, if you remember, in the thumbnail for this video of how I kind of like darken the background, and, just help with anything that you can do to separate those
I
elements
appreciate any feedback here because clearly I need some.
We both need a lot of it.
Yeah,
but that turned out really awesome. I love the pose. I think the pose is awesome. I love getting to see the other 3 poses as well in the beginning. And this turned out really cool at the end.
Thank you.
I think you should be proud of this.
Aw, well, thank you. If you want to see us create more artwork, hit that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what else we can draw in the future.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Did you like my switcheroo of who said what at the end?
I did. Yeah, it was an excellent job. You did a very good job of saying my line.
I tried really hard.